coming off that virtual Facebook Live. Phenomenal job from our CEO and president, Mr. Art Leeser, and Zach Farrow, district manager Zach Farrow, just hammering it down. $24K to $175K a year. Zach, that ain't bad, bro. I say we double it, though, man. I say we double it. We're going to get kicked off here in about 3 minutes. Again, and to those just dialing in, this is the GT Guetterman. And that's kind of redundant, don't you? The GT team call stands for Guetterman team call. Yeah, I guess it's not redundant. It is what it is. All right, we're gonna get kicked off here in about 2 minutes. Stand by. Leaders, if you haven't reminded your players, a lot of the core just dials in because it is necessary to success, to stay engaged, to stay plugged in. They've created the calls as a habit in their life. But leaders, in order to create habits, you have to enact discipline. And hey, they have to be told why it's important to be disciplined, man. That's just is what it is as far as success goes. And leaders, reach out to your new agents and tell them we got a call going on. This is a money call too, by the way. For those of you who've been around for a while, maybe you've heard of 5-point placement and persistency. Maybe you haven't. But that's what we're going over tonight. So we're going to get kicked off in about 30 seconds. All right, let's rock and roll. This is SVP Aaron Guetterman running our team call tonight. We're going to hand it over probably to another manager next week. I don't know. We haven't decided. But we'll take care of that sometime else. Tonight, I want to give some shout-outs. I want to give some shout-outs to people who are running a 90-day Madman cycle. I want to give shout-outs to those who took March Madness by the horns. We're only 11 days in. Right, we're not even halfway done with this month, and I'm telling you, we already have agents sitting over 20,000 annual premium production within 11 days. Yeah, Giovanna Caparosi, Mitra out there crushing it. Peggy Jorquera still writing naps tonight. Sitting over 20,000. How about this? How about Mark Spear? Mark Spear sitting over 20,000 11 days into the month, just absolutely getting after it. And I find that hilarious because I know the struggles that Mark went through, and he's absolutely turning into one of the top professionals on this team, and it really, really, really excites me, man. I just love bringing on people and watching them win in this system. It's funny. It's like the new blood always gets the old blood to boil because, we bring in new people all the time, and it's like, okay, this person just did it. The cool thing about TLG is that it's always a level playing field. Now, anyone can come in here, and if they take responsibility and ownership, they take ownership of their business, and they go out and work, their tails off. We went over the numbers. We talked about this on Monday, right? As a brand new agent, if you want to write $20,000 a month, you pick up 500, TLG3 or TLG2s. the $3 leads. You get 500 of them, and I guarantee you're going to go out and write, around $20,000 for the month. You just have to be willing to put the sacrifice of time, effort, and energy, into your business. And those who do, man, they reap massive reward. And just super proud of you, Javon and Peggy and Mark. You guys are crushing it. 11 days down. The top 15 will be coming out in about 4 days. These two ladies and Mark are definitely sitting at the top. Venus, I have to look at your numbers. I don't even know where you're at for the month. I just know where these ladies are at, Javon and Peggy. But I think Venus just crushed a bunch of apps over the last couple of days. I've actually been down in Greenville, South Carolina, so I haven't looked at the numbers too tightly. Shout out to Blaze, man. SVP Blaze Foray. Myself and Blaze Foray are going to be doing a podcast. Y'all can plug in. It's a success podcast called Wake Up and Win every Monday at 9 a.m. You guys can plug it, share it, listen to it. We'll be giving away ideology and success tips. So we're killing it, man. It's going to be an awesome show. Blaze, I appreciate your partnership on this, man. We're going to absolutely crush it. So y'all look out for that. So who is in the grip for the run rate contest? How about run rates rewarded? I know the My Bay Shop is running that. I know the Alvarez agency is running that. If you haven't hit the 10K in 10 days run rate, don't fret. You can still pump the next 4 days and start crushing 15K by the 15th. Whatever this contest that your manager is running for you, put your head down and go after it. This isn't March Madness. It is March Madness. This isn't your normal March. It's March Madness, and I'm telling you, we called for records at the beginning of the month, and we are in a pace like I've never seen before. We are on a massive, massive run rate right now as a team, and I'm really proud of what everybody's doing. But you can't let up. If you want to break the record that you set up for yourself, you can't let up. And if you haven't hit the run rate of the record, you've got to press the gas right now. You've got to just hammer down and put your head down and go after it. So, just because we're 11 days down, but we got 20 more to go. And in 20 days, as you can tell, you can knock down 20,000 in 20 days. If the 20K is your goal, heck, we got agents that knock down 20K in 11 days. So, if they can do it, I guarantee you can do it. All right, we got conference coming up. April, May. We got May 13th, 14th, and 15th. VIP, is for the 13th. The actual conference is going to be on the 14th and 15th. If you haven't registered yet, I encourage you to register as fast as possible. The 3-month payment plan ends tomorrow. Make it easier on yourself. Some people are like, well, why do you got to pay her? Why? Because so there's going to be a VIP party. There's going to be lunches included. I think some breakfast included, and a massive, super classy award dinner that's going to be included on that for Saturday night. And we have a lot of fun. We truly, truly have a lot of fun. So you definitely want to be a part of it because it's going to be nuts and bolts training. We come away with new 20K, 30, 40, 50K producers out of every single event. If you're not there, you probably aren't going to hit those numbers. It's just a fact. All right, so make sure you guys register. If you don't have the registration, reach out to a manager, reach up, and we'll get you the registration to get in there as fast as possible. But I want to see you in Orlando in the middle of May. And if I haven't met you yet personally, I want you to come up to me. I'd love to meet every single agent on the team. So come up to me. I'll always be at the front of the room. Venus Diaz, you absolutely crushed it today. Venus Diaz is our current producer belt holder. She is currently defending the belt. She was the number 1 agent in February. She's defending it this month. Venus, there are some ladies, and Mark. Nope, there's some ladies. Just kidding, Mark. There's some ladies on your tail. They're coming after you, Venus. They want that belt. G's already told me. She was like, I want the belt. Oh, okay. So Blaze is the other belt holder as far as base shop managers go. He has held a tight grip on that belt for a year, and somebody got to take it from him. Let's go. All right, workplace engagement. Workplace engagement. If you guys aren't paying attention to workplace on a regular basis, if you aren't engaged in the information, you've got to do a better job at that. If you don't have workplace chat and workplace downloaded the apps on your phone, if you we're in 2021 now here. So if you don't have a smartphone, first things first, go to the store and go get one of those. Go get you a smartphone so you can download apps. You can download, yeah, I did, Mark. So you can download apps to your phone, and you'll be able to stay in real-time communication wherever you are. You just won't be tied to your phone. You can go wherever you want, and you'll be able to communicate with everybody all the time. All right. Also, we have an STP. What's an STP? STP stands for Show the Plan. Just like what happened tonight on Facebook, with the Facebook Live, we have an STP going down in Fredericksburg, Virginia, along with myself, Blaze, Josh Harris, Zach Farrow. I heard Nelson Alvarez is coming in town. We got newcomer Jared DeCola. We're gonna have some big hitters. I think Jamie Bloss is Jamie. Let me know if you're coming or not, bro. But we're gonna have some big hitters in Fredericksburg, Virginia, live. We're going to record this thing. We're going to have a good time. Bring people, invite people, send people there so we can show them what we do. It's nothing like a live meeting face-to-face. I'm telling y'all, we will get people in. If you send them this meeting, they're going to get in. We're going to find some 20K producers out of that meeting right there. But you got to invite them. Invite them to the meeting, April 14th, 6 to 8 p.m. All right. Shout out to the Lifer Agency. I'll tell you all right now, and I'm going to get Jared to do a call for this team, because I'm telling you, the Lifer Agency is the agency that is lighting annuities on fire. This team right here, and I think Jared alone is he's working on like over $2 million in annuities personally. But everyone on his team is asking the safe money questions. They are just finding the money. And me and Jared are just helping them show them what to do with it. Jared is really good with it, but you don't have to be really, really good at annuities to write annuities. You just have to find the money. You have to get over the fear of asking the safe money questions and find the money. Find out where they have it, whether it be savings, 401ks, old annuities, IRAs, mutual funds, wherever they have their money. Find it, and we'll teach you how to put it in a safe place and why to put it in a safe place. So as long as you find the money, we'll start teaching you all about annuities, but you got to be willing to ask the questions. So yeah, Jared's working with over $2 million. He just issued $227,000, this week, or it was on Monday or Friday or something like that. To be able to drop a few thousands into your bank account. It ain't bad, Jared. It's not bad, bro. So we have different products with American Equity that you want to write annuities with. So step up, step out, start asking the safe money questions. We'll do a call on that so we can skill up all as a team. All right, tonight, I wanted to talk about the 5 steps to placement and persistency. When I got started in the insurance industry back in 2011, God, that seems so long ago. I got started and was taught, I was taught to work in the final expense industry, and, is because we had mortgage protection. I didn't have a whole lot of mortgage protection leads, so I had a few of those and a lot of FE. And, I was taught a certain way how to sell, but the problem was I wasn't really taught how to place business. I wasn't really taught how to keep business. So I had to learn from someone who had a 90% placement and a 90% persistency. Now, placement means you are issuing the apps. See, we report numbers as submit numbers. Nothing matters until you pay the business. That means writing it, and it actually goes through and says issue paid, and you get money in your bank account, and your client gets a contract, meaning they are covered. So you have to have a certain set of skills, and a lot of you that are brand new, you're working with your upline to do it, but, a lot of you have been around a while. You got to slow down a little bit. Make sure that you sharpen those skills to make sure you're issue paying 80% and above. That is on par. Will we like you at 90% and above, especially with a simplified issue product? Absolutely. But we need you at 80% and above. That's where you need to be. All right, so as far as placement goes, that's where you make your money. As far as persistency goes, that's where you keep your money. I'm gonna give you some steps on working with your clients and creating a relationship with your clients in order to keep the business on the books. Why? Because we get advanced 9 months. And if they don't keep it for at least 9 months, you get what's called a chargeback. So we're going to teach you how to eliminate chargebacks and get that back-end money, which is month 10, 11, and 12. And with whole life policies, 10-year trails and 10-year residuals. We want to build up your book of business because that matters. Keeping the money matters. Making more money matters. All right. So let's talk about 5 steps to placement and persistency. 5 steps. Number 1. Step 1 to placement is underwriting, getting the medical history and the medications. This is important, guys. When we teach y'all to do your phone script and we ask those questions at the end, such as, hey, I just need to ask you a few medical questions so we can better underwrite your policy and put together a program for you. In the last 10 years or so, any heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes, right? You guys should start to learn as you're putting this stuff in your upline thread. You should start to learn what different carriers take as far as different heart attacks and time frames and strokes and diabetes. Now the cool thing is everybody thinks I'm like some underwriting guru. Now I know my stuff, but insurance companies do change their underwriting a little bit. But here's the cool thing: they always put out what they call an agent guide. Now, here's a little tip that you're going to use, and I gave you the first tip was go buy a smartphone. But you can download the agent guides. Like on my iPhone, I download them as a PDF from each of the carrier websites, and I load it onto my phone. So I have every single carrier agent guide on my phone, all the underwriting guides. And they tell you, a lot of it is black and white. There's a little bit of gray area because underwriting works on a point system, with height and weight, smoking status, diabetes, heart attacks. Everything has point systems added to it. So sometimes it's gray area, and we have to call the underwriter and get an okay to get it pushed through. But a lot of situations are black and white, and it says, well, if they've got this, that is accept, right? Or if they've got this, that is decline. You can't send that through. So when you're pressing down on medical history, you really have to ask them the questions. To get your policy issued, you've got to really draw their memory out, man. Ask them if there's anything that, the insurance company is going to find, because they go through what we call the MIB, the Medical Information Bureau, and they do a prescription history check. So if there's something that you forget, they're going to find it. So before we go in and shoot for this policy, we got to make sure that we can get this policy approved. So, sometimes, older folks, they don't remember the medications they took 5 years ago. It is what it is. And, we get blindsided and we have to get questionnaires answered and things like that. So when you guys, before you quote, because sometimes it's harder to go backwards. Like if you show them a term policy and they're like, oh, that question right there, we can't do that. And you've already gone through the entire sales process and they've picked the middle option and you're already writing the application. Now you're asking the health questions. You're like, oh, yeah, that's a yes. And it's like, wah, wah, wah. And you've got to go back like, let me tell you about our most popular product, which is MPP. and you're having to go backwards. They're like, not as excited. Well, it's because you did, like the questions weren't asked on, beforehand. And maybe they were. And, sometimes that's the situation. You get down to it and you just jog their memory with the one question again. Or you asked them 3 times already and now they're just finally remembering it. You never know, right? Like this is the business, but we do our best. Like on this number 1, we get the medical history and we get the medications, and you don't try to pigeonhole people into a square hole. No, you don't put a square peg into a round hole. Like you just don't do it. Like the insurance companies are going to know. Like they're going to find out. Like you can't lie on the application. All right. Number 2, cross-reference with your apps and your product guides, cross-reference with your upline. Make sure that you have the right applications. Like countless times I've seen agents write on old applications when they're writing their first applications. Make sure you have the updated product guides. Counsel with your upline on your first 10 appointments. Like really, really work with them. Number 3, you have a borderline underwriting situation, you call the underwriter and get their name and you put it on it. Like, I talk about Van a lot. He's been with me the longest. These underwriters up at CFG and Mutual of Omaha, they know Van by name, like first name. And I think Mark's starting to get that way with Foresters as well. By the way, Mark is number 8, probably getting closer, like for the Foresters contest. So for those of you who aren't writing Foresters, I don't know why, because he's about to make another $2,000 bonus, maybe 5. Just letting y'all know. But they know them by name. They know them because they call the underwriters and run cases by them, especially when it's that black and white area. Maybe it's a point system. Maybe it's a dual usage medication, and you talk to the underwriter and say, listen, I've got this medication. Here's what they have going. The underwriter says, well, just note that on the application and send it to me. Well, do that. Make sure you put their name on it and send it direct to the underwriting. You'll be able to get things through that way. All right. Number 4, write clean apps, no mistakes. Now, e-applications eliminate this, number 4. If you guys are writing e-applications, the only mistakes you can make is number, connotation. Like you can maybe miss a number on a Social Security or put it backwards, or when you put the bank account information in there, transpose the wrong number or put the wrong name or something. With usually e-app is mistake proof. Other than that, if you guys are writing your paper applications, especially new agents, write clean apps. Like, don't write like a doctor. If you can't read it, the underwriters can't read it. Like, don't use blue ink, because everything's done through scan and fax, and you send it on to the carrier. By the time it gets to them, you can't even read it because it was written in blue. Use black pen when you're writing your paper applications. Now, some of y'all might be in a position where you are doing face-to-face appointments and there's no internet, and you've got to keep paper applications. You should always have at least 5 applications of every product with every carrier with you in your car. You should have your office with you set up that way. So, but when you write on them, write clean apps, print clearly, make sure that, you're giving all information. Some people are like, oh, maybe this will slide through. When you're doing your underwriting, you find out you have a dual usage med, or they give you information that, we had a stroke in 2015. Write it on there. They had a stroke in 2012. They got no medications. They're perfect now. You're writing on, because they're going to see this. They're going to see medications that were issued back then. They're going to see them, so you can't get over on the underwriters. All right, number 5, for placement. This is huge. Number 5, check pending a lot. So every Wednesday, you guys see me put out there, and I'm pretty consistent about this, is administration day. Log into the carrier, check, go into each carrier and check the pending. If you don't know how to do it, I need you to get with your upline so we can teach you how to log in and how to check and where to check and what to do when you have an underwriting requirement. It's important to make sure you get them what they need to issue pay the apps. Because I see a lot of apps that are just sitting there waiting on the agent to answer a question like, hey, you missed question number 5. It didn't have a check mark on it. Was it a yes or a no? or hey, you put 50% beneficiary on one, but you didn't put another beneficiary. It needs to equal 100. And all it takes is just a little bit of administrative and focus, and just answer the question and get the policy issued. It's crazy. I know I send a check out on Wednesdays, but you guys should be checking your pending every day. You should be, from the time of submitting to issuing, you should be checking that thing like, did it get there? Hey, do y'all have my application? If it doesn't show up at the carrier within really 12 hours, like the same day or the very next day, you should be like, hey, we need to resend this application up because it didn't get to them. If that's a paper app. If your e-app didn't go, that means somebody didn't sign it and didn't get sent in on your end or the client's end. So you guys should be meticulous about checking to make sure they have the app, and then meticulous about checking to make sure you get them what they need to issue the app. Maybe sometimes it's a phone call. And if you preface, your in-home appointments and let them know, hey, listen, sometimes they do random phone interviews, right? Some are random, mostly not. They just see something they need to ask a question about. So, but if you make your client feel good, it's like, hey, sometimes they do random phone interviews. Like, we just need to get in touch with you. If I call you and we get in touch with the carrier, we need to knock that out as fast as possible to get the policy through. So, just warn your clients. And if you do get an interview, Call them, patch them, get them in on that, and get it knocked out as fast as possible. You got to find out. Tip, call the underwriter first to find out maybe why they need to do an interview, so you can talk to your clients beforehand. I think that's pretty important. All right, that's getting your policies placed, issued. Now, let's talk about keeping the money, right? Number one, when we're talking about persistency, we're talking about making sure it stays on the books. We want to build that relationship, and you want to be able to serve your clients. Servicing your clients is probably the number one thing that most insurance don't do. Like with PNC agents, I kind of give you a difference here. PNC agents, they take phone calls all day long. If you've ever been to a PNC agency, like their phones are ringing off the daggone hook. This is why a lot of people move into life insurance, because we go talk to the client, we write them up, and they usually don't call us. We have to call them, and we tell y'all to follow up with them. So first and foremost, when you are in the appointment, the persistency starts in the appointment. When you're sitting down with your client, and Venus made just a phenomenal point today when she was talking about, you can order all the material from the insurance carrier, make sure that you look like a professional, and you leave the folders and you have your business cards, and you just leave information with them. You can go over the information. But a very important piece of paper, if you're doing in-homes or even if you're doing virtuals, is going to be the conditional receipt. Make sure, like if I'm doing an in-home presentation, I used to take that conditional receipt. And I'd preface, this is a very, very important piece of paper. This is what binds the insurance company to you, that if you passed away during the underwriting process, you're still covered. You're taken care of. So I would always write my name real big on top of that, fold it in threes and write it real big. My name is Aaron Guetterman. Here's my phone number. Here's the product that we took out. We did, CFG term, 250,000, 20 years. Your premium is, $127.76. The premium's not going to go up. This is 20-year level. If you have any questions, who do you call? You call me. You make sure they know what to do. If you get another insurance agent calling you saying that they're my manager, they need to check out the policy. No. You call me and ask me. If they don't come, with bearing my name or my company, then they're not with me. Just if you have any questions, you give me a call. All right, the warm down. So we talk about the warm down. The warm down is after you've made the sale, right? You've written the application, you've given the conditional receipt, you've explained the process to them. You've explained that you're going to turn this policy, send this policy in the next 5 days. We should get an answer. Really doing this about 24 to 40 hours, but I always tell them 5 to 7 days in case we have to go through some underwriting, right? We want to set some expectation there. But we laid the preference down of time frame, when we're doing the warm down, but we don't walk away, right? We don't get up. We don't run out of the house just because we made the sale. You keep building rapport. Like for me, after you've made the sale and you've taken care of, I love the statement of, hey, listen, do you feel good about what you did today? And they're like, yeah, I totally did. That took a lot of burden off me. If I'm sitting face to face with someone, I'm real big on, I'll shake a guy's hand or I'll put my hand on his shoulder. I was always big on giving my clients hugs. I don't know if that's safe in today's world with COVID or anything like that, but hey, if I was out there, I'd do it, especially if they let me. But I was always just big on that. Being there and having that relationship and still talking and getting right back into the conversation for 5 to 10 minutes instead of running out the door. Spend another 5 to 10 minutes with them and really hammer down that rapport and make sure that they know that you care. Sometimes, people don't care what you say until they know that you care, and a lot of times they don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And that's just the truth in sales. And people don't buy from the insurance companies. I know a lot of you like to give a lot of awesome educational knowledge about our insurance carriers, but man, they're buying from you. So make sure that you are servicing that client, okay? You just don't run out of there. You just don't turn off the computer. You spend a little bit of time with them. You laugh with them and just give them what's getting ready to happen. That $127 is going to, once approved, is going to be coming down in the next, 3 to 5 days, 5 to 7 days. Just look out for it in your bank account. All right. Number 3, when you get back to your office, send out a postcard. You guys should have a stack of postcards. Every sale, you send them a postcard. just say, hey, I just want to let you know we turned the policy in. You should be hearing back in the next 5 to 7 business days. I appreciate you doing business with me. If you have any questions, you can give me a call at, and then you put your phone number down. I'll be following up with you once we get the approval. Hand signed, Aaron Guetterman. Boom, send it right in the mail, send it to your client. That right there is more than 95% of any insurance agent will ever do. And it blows clients' minds. They'll call you and be like, I got your postcard. Thank you so much. Right? They'll call you up just loving it. I'm telling y'all that little move right there is golden. Peggy even takes it a step further. She sends all of her clients birthday cards, anniversary cards. She sends them like cards. She really, really gets in touch with her clients. And they on average, clients on average buy life insurance a period of 5 to 7 times throughout their life. And whether through personal coverage, referrals, or on family members. So when you build up, and this is what we're trying to teach you to do, is build relationship-wise and build a client for life. And they're going to call you, and they're going to give you referrals. You won't have to ask for them. They're just going to call you for more coverage. So when you do things like that. Now, once you send it out, number 4, once the policy is approved, you call your client up. This is massive. You got to call them. Once it's approved, you call them up and you congratulate them. Congratulations, John and Joe Smith. You two lovebirds were approved as applied for. Your policy is going to be mailed out in the next 5 to 7 business days. Just make sure you remember that the $127.72, that's going to be coming out of your bank account in the next 5 to 7 days. Do me a favor. Once you get that policy delivered, will you give me a call to let me know that you got it? And they do, or most of the time they don't, right? Like if you don't hear from them or they didn't call you back to let you know, you follow up. Number 5. You follow up and you call them in a couple of weeks, knowing that, they should be getting it in about 5 to 7 days. Call them, ask them if they got it. If they didn't get it, you call the carrier to make sure that they do get it, because the free look period starts from the date of policy delivery, right? Y'all understand that? I know the legal date is 10 days. Some carriers offer 30 days, but it doesn't start until they actually deliver the policy. So you make sure that policy is delivered. All right. So, but you follow up. Hey, did you get your policy? Yeah, I got it. Awesome. Do you offer a policy review? I tell you what, I'm going to be up the area, in the next few days. If you'd like, I could sit down with you and do just do a review of the policy we took out so you completely understand it. Most people will just say, you know what, you did such a great job. There's no need. You see, I tell you what, if you would just put that policy in a safe place, if you have any questions, you can give me a call. Now, this is also a time where you can ask for ERS referrals. You could set a BAM fan because you found money in the house. These are the habits that you should create. If you guys are creating these habits, you're doing it the same way every single time, you're going to have a 90% placement. You're going to have a 90% persistency, and you're going to be making money because that's what it's all about. Make sure we're putting people in the right product when they have to go NPP or when they have to go term. We don't write a whole lot of fully underwritten products because, as you know, only 50% of them issue as applied for, and that's not what we do. We get people covered. We don't find out what's wrong with them. So hopefully you guys learned a lot tonight. We have the 20K call tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Hop on the call and ask questions. Utilize our time. Guys, we want to pour into you. I got a panel of partners on with me that we want to pour into you to get everyone to 20K and above. And if you're not hopping on that call, you're not skilling up. That's just the truth. We have an open builders call hosted by the one and only Art Leeser. He wants to teach you how to build your legacy. Hop on at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all call me if you need me. Take care.